Look at the shot of this mountain. I actually wish I could have filmed this for you about 10 minutes ago. You could see the whole summit here on the big island of Hawaii, and it's 82 degrees on November 15th. Okay, this is Airbox Mod video number 2, and I'm gonna show you what I did and what I think about it. So I've been riding it for at least a week now. I've had one really good off-road ride and a few street rides to test what I did to the airbox. So look at this. Yes, it's 82 degrees and it's November. That's Hawaii. So anyway, let's get this started. Here is my modified stock airbox lid, and I have the regular one I'll show you here in a moment. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna start this up, and I'm gonna let you hear the intake noise. All right, ready to rip. So it sounds exactly the same as the stock one when you're just idling. There's no increased intake noise. But this is where it gets a little noisy. So when you're riding, that intake noise is almost deafening. And there's some pluses and minuses to that. The plus is that the bike kind of sounds like it has a pipe, at least from the rider's perspective. I think it's noisy to everybody else a little bit too, because sometimes I notice people turning their heads, where in stock lawnmower trim, I didn't get a lot of heads turned when I would ride by, so that means that they basically didn't even hear me coming. So KTM 690 stock airbox. So my first impressions were that it didn't make a bit of difference, and that's now that I have a brand new stock lid. I should probably pick a better place to film these videos because there's so many damn cars, but I can't get anywhere that there's no cars. So anyway, sorry about that little rant. But after riding it back to back, I literally rode it with the chopped box, stuck the full box back on, or the full lid back on, and then I rode the same section of street, same twisties with the same straightaways, and then I put the open box back on again, and there's noticeably different power. My first impressions were wrong. So where it really shows is off the bottom. I don't really know that it feels that much different, and that could be an air fuel mixture thing, but I do have the Kev O2 controller, so it should be running at 14:1 or whatever fuel mixture. But at 3,600 RPMs, when you roll this on, there's noticeably more acceleration. A lot of intake noise comes with that, so one would perceive that it's probably going faster than it is, but there's noticeably more acceleration. I tested it a couple times to feel the difference, and it is faster with the airbox chopped open. That said, I really don't know if the air fuel mixture is at safe levels. My pipe maybe got a little darker in color, but I didn't see that it really changed. You know, it didn't turn purple or anything. And the bike runs noticeably cooler when you're riding around. When I first start my commutes, it's definitely about 2 bars cooler on the digital thermometer thing, and then when you're riding at highway speeds, it's definitely getting a lot more cool air. So while I don't know if the air fuel mixture is safe, the bike seems to run pretty good. The only time I really notice it is it actually does accelerate so much faster that I actually hit the rev limiter quite a bit now. And I don't really know when it comes on because I'm not looking at the tach when it starts popping, but I feel like it's 8,500 RPMs maybe, and it gets there quicker. It does accelerate quicker, period, with the airbox chopped open. So I'm going to do some commuting or some long road rides in the rain and stuff. I will probably put the stock lid back on just for all the downpours that I'm going to be going through. Basically jungle rain, right? But for off-road, I think I'm going to continue to run the chopped open box because it definitely has an increase in mid-range power, and it accelerates so much faster that it gets to the top a lot faster. It might be running a little bit lean on the very tip top, but for not doing anything to the pipe, I feel like I'm actually fairly happy with just chopping the top off this box. So it seems to work pretty good. I will warn you, it is extremely loud. I was wearing earplugs the first 2 rides. Now I'm kind of used to it, and maybe it's stupid because I'm probably going to go deaf, but it does make the bike a little bit more fun because it's a little bit noisier. So anyway, if you're thinking about doing it and you don't mind having to maybe buy a $40 Airbox lid if you screw up or hate it, it's probably worth trying. And especially if you have a way to reprogram your ECU, you know, change the fuel and stuff on it. But yeah, here, I'll give you another shot. Modified lid, stock lid. Obviously you probably know that, but as you can see, I just cut it right down the seam on the side. That seam right there. And another thing that I took away from this mod is that when you are in dusty conditions, it might not be a bad idea even on the stock box, because the intake really puts a lot of dirt into the front of the air filter. It might not be a bad idea to cut one of these pieces of bulk foam and stick it in there if you're riding a lot of like dusty, deserty type crap. This is an oiled foam, and it'll just prevent that air from getting so much dirty crap right in the front of the air filter where it concentrates because of the snorkel. So you can't really see the snorkel in the sun. There we go. So that snorkel concentrates the dirt right on the front of the air filter. So it might not be a bad idea to put a piece of this bulk foam in there. I can't imagine that it affects the airflow too much. It's so porous. So hopefully you'll be able to hear the difference in the intake noise. Again, my bike does run a little bit richer off the bottom, up to 4,500 RPMs, because I have the Kev XTX O2 controller installed. I'll put a link to that in the description. So, you know, yours might be running really lean off the bottom with this mod. So once again, it's at your own risk. All right, so that's it. Video 2, Airbox Mod KTM 690 Enduro. Imagine this is the exact same thing for the SMR as well. I think it's worth doing. Disclaimer: I don't know what it's doing with the fuel, you know, mixture, and if it's running too lean. So do this at your own risk. But it definitely increases mid-range power and probably power on the top for sure. So there's no difference in like wheelie ability, and that's probably because they govern the second and third gear. So I don't notice any power in like wheelie ability, which is probably why I didn't think it worked at first. But it definitely accelerates faster. It most certainly accelerated faster out of the corners and down the straightaways when I was kind of rolling it on in third gear. So once again, if you're not afraid of wasting 40 bucks to try it, maybe give it a try. All right, thanks for watching, guys. If you find it useful, like and subscribe. And if you know somebody with a 690 that might like it, share it with them. So thanks for watching. Hang loose from Hawaii. Look at that. Yeah, you know, quit buying dirt bike parts and come for a trip to Hawaii and check this out.